Good. Just trying to get back to being myself out there. That's the only part I want to be on the field. So today was a little bit of a test of that. So we'll see what happens.
I know that obviously you don't listen to doctors, but do you feel like you can play a full football game right now?
I don't know. I think today was my kind of first initial test to really see answer that question, and I think tomorrow will be a good measure of recovery and how my knee feels in that moment. So that'll be a telling sign. But I want to be out there on that field any way possible. So I'm trying to make that happen.
What is that conversation like with you? You've never been through this kind of injury before, never been hurt at the NFL level. You've only known these coaches for a couple months. What is your role in making sure that you're honest with them and that they kind of know exactly what you're feeling?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, especially with a knee injury, it's precautionary, because that's things that take people a long time to do. Sometimes are season-ending or career-ending in certain fashion. So knowing it was a knee injury, just want to take those precautions, and knowing what I've heard from the doctors and hearing what they're saying on the structure of it, gave me the confidence to go out there today and practice. So I think going forward it'll be a continued conversation, especially like you said, with new coaches, new training staff, and them learning me and me learning them. And but I think first and foremost on my head is making sure I'm healthy, make sure I'm good, and when I'm able to do that, I'm ready to go.
How Sunday night and Monday?
No, that's definitely not my concern. I think that was like my first initial question. If I was at any risk for that to happen, and talking to the doctors and the opinions that I got, that's not their opinion of it. Of course, there's some soreness and some pain in there with the sprain that it is, but no, if there was any risk of anything further, I would.
What was Sunday night, Monday morning? I guess you talked after the game. Was it just something that kind of started to come out more and more? Were you that worried?
Definitely was worried. I've never dealt with a knee injury before, so there's lots of tendons in there that you can mess up and people can mess up. So, initially, was out there on the field and had some soreness after the game and things like that. And soreness continued to build, and then that night the soreness was pretty bad. The next morning, soreness was pretty bad. So, at that point, it was in my mindset that I may have done something wrong to it, and I need to get the MRI and get the doctor's opinion as well as second opinion as well, just making sure it's all good, especially if it's a knee injury. But the soreness has dwindled, and continued movement and mobility has continued to grow. And I think those things are fun.
How encouraging is that for you after the initial feelings that you had and how it looked coming out of the game?
Oh, it's definitely huge, Like I said, I've never, dealt with a knee injury before, so I don't know what it feels like when you sprain something or when you tear something. Or, I felt a pop, and I know, a pop of the hamstring is never good. So, I just was listening to them, the training staff, and they, educated me as well as my peers and my people surrounding me. And, as the soreness went away, as I started to, move my leg, bend my legs a little bit, you start to get that confidence, and I'm just continuing to build that, so I can hopefully play Sunday.
Since you haven't played through an injury like this, how do you know how much you're pushing?
I think it's just like any injury in the fact that it's a pain level, pain tolerance thing. I think when you've answered the question whether it's structurally sound, whether or not you're at risk of further injuring it, I think that's the number one question you need to answer. And after that, it's okay. Can you beat yourself out there? Can you play through that pain? What's the soreness going to be like the next day? Are you going to be able to weather through that? So for me, it's just that pain tolerance at this point and being able to work through what I can work with.
Did you feel like yourself out there today when you were testing it?
I felt pretty solid. Of course, I was being a little precautionary, just because again, knee injury. But I felt good. I really did. So just getting back into the flow of things, catching up to speed with Caleb and the offense, and
Have you
Last one, Mark.
with a knee injury? How frustrating is it that it happens in your first game?
No, I never have. Knock on wood. Y'all better knock on wood for y'all. No, I've never dealt with it, so it's something that is a little bit of scary. Especially when it comes to me. I've had many friends, many teammates that have dealt with those injuries, and they always suck. So, for me, it was just first and foremost making sure I was all good structural wise, make sure I'm not putting myself at risk for further injury, and after that, I'm doing whatever I can to get back on the field.
as like his just steadiness or tone or whatever, you're hearing him the whole game.
Right, yeah, it's the same. Obviously, I go out throughout the week, so I kind of got to feel how he's going to call it. So just kind of taking like what we do throughout practice and taking it to the game.
How synchronized are you guys in terms of when you're out there? Are you surprised ever by anything he calls, or is it pretty much like you know exactly what's coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we, obviously practice for, kind of get a feel throughout the week, go through a couple trial and errors, and kind of see how he sees the game, and, based off the calls we had in practice, based off the walkthroughs that we have, and just kind of taking that information and applying it to the game. So it's pretty steady.
Did you hear a call in the game Sunday where you're just like, oh yes, finally we're doing this? Anything that...
I mean, not in particular. I just think he does a good job of obviously seeing the game, breaking down film, certain formations, certain personnel groupings that we get, and putting us in the best call to succeed as a defense.
Trumaine, what did you learn about Caleb in your first full game? Watching him on the sidelines and how he does things?
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job. Obviously the NFL is going to be ups and downs. We're going to face some adversity, so we're going to do time to stay poised and making sure the guys around him was at a steady pace to make sure we succeed.
As far as the defense, Coach, what did you learn about this unit to be able to bounce back from 17-0 and not let them get to the second half?
Yeah, that we can obviously win when we're down. I think that's something that you want to see, and the guys believe that, guys know what we could do. But obviously we play the game to not be in those positions, but things happen sometimes. But just knowing that we can play from behind, and obviously the game is not over till it's 0.
What does that tell you about the collective resilience of you guys as a group defensively?
Yeah, that like I said, man, there's really no ceiling to obviously how good we could be. I think that's number one. But number two, you just gotta stay together. You can't start pointing fingers. You just gotta mesh together. When adversity hits, and get us over that hump. So you saw that. You saw guys talking, communicating, and that's what got us through that.
Everybody, all 10 guys who were out there rushing like dogs. So it could have been anybody. Just it's amazing, especially given how hard we worked through OTAs, through training camp. That was our whole mentality. That's all we talk about is just looking to make plays, looking to get a possession back for the offense, all that type of stuff, and to be the have to work out and have me be the guy who did it that time. That was awesome.
It's been hard work. Just how gratifying has it been for you to work as hard as you did in the preseason, make plays that stood out, make this team and make it
very, but never satisfied. Just like you said, it was all preseason OTAs. The real kind of work in the grind is now. This is the only stuff that really counts. So just got to keep my head down, keep working, keep grinding, and keep maximizing opportunities.
How do you guys look at this challenge on Sunday night in the Houston offense?
We're excited for it. There's nothing better than going against a really good opponent because it brings out the best in you, brings out the best in them, and you get to see everyone's best on the tape. And ultimately the fans are the ones who get to benefit the most from that. And so, exciting matchup. We're ready for it, and we're going to go in there swinging.
Is that Sunday night prime time spotlight also bring out the best in you guys too?
Man, honestly, it wouldn't matter if it was prime time Sunday night or if, we were in the backyard, man. We came to the ball no matter what. So, Sunday night, it's great. It's prime time. Everybody's watching, but we're going to come in there with the same mentality as always.